What if the truth was never lost, only buried? For centuries, historians, scholars, and even colonial records have confirmed what many tried to silence. The original Israelites were a black people scattered across continents but never erased. Their skin was dark, their customs ancient, and their covenant with Yah eternal. This journey uncovers how the Spanish and Portuguese Jews, described as dark-skinned, Semitic, shared one bloodline. Chased by the Inquisition, many fled to Portugal, then beyond, preserving their heritage across borders. But the story doesn't end in Iberia. Across from West Africa, black Jews built synagogues, kept Torah, and passed down the laws of Moses. The Limba in southern Africa, the Igbo in Nigeria, the Beta Israel in Ethiopia, tribes across the continent boldly declared, "We are the children of Israel." These aren't isolated claims. These are voices rising from the dust, connected by oral histories, Torah traditions, and the unbroken rhythm of their identity. No such legacy exists among European Jews. No centuries of tribal witness, no matching traditions, no trace of ancient covenant keeping. Maps, art, and archaeology tell the same story. The Israelites were scattered, enslaved, and displaced, but never lost. The world always knew who they were. Their presence was visible, their customs alive, their story intact. This book doesn't speculate. It confirms the Israelites were black, bound by blood, culture, and covenant to the Most High. This is not just history, it's restoration. The truth was never destroyed, only buried beneath centuries of deception. Get your copy of They Always Knew We Were Israelites today, available now on Amazon.com.
Salama family, salama, how y'all doing today? Hope you're blessed and highly favored. So before I get started, I want to give a caveat. This isn't a positive, happy-go-lucky, sun is shining type of message today. This is more of a dark, gloom, storm, windy breeze type thing, not for fun, right? Darkness covers the land and grows darkness to people type of message. So if you're the type of person who gets scared, you're the type of person who can't handle negativity, then this is not the show for you. All right. So I gave you a warning. And just to let you know, let me preempt all of this stuff. Well, you don't know this, you don't know that. I'm waiting on the Most High, blah, 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 blah. I'm not telling you what to do. Okay, let's get that straight first. Everybody around here are adults and need to make their own decision. And the main message today is really going to be about, since there's not much time left, what you should be doing. All right, what you should be doing. And one of the most important things that you should be doing. And, we all knew this was coming, right? Ain't nobody who listened to this channel shocked and surprised. Except for the ones who stick their head in the sand, hashtag ain't no 400-year prophecy. Yeah, I find it interesting that the Christians, for the most part, still waiting for the rapture, right? Then you got the others who believe a lot of the prophecies already occurred because they stuck on Eurocentric doctrine, which, you know, premillennialism, postmillennialism, all these type of descriptions they give to it. But in reality, that Bible is just our history book, right? Whether the history is the history to come or the history looking backwards, it's just our history book. It's not a religious book. It wasn't written to the Gentiles. Not that they can't get something from it. It's part of our inheritance, right? It's the oracles were given to the Jews. And if you still have a problem with the Negroes being the true Hebrew Israelites, then that's your problem. I would say at this point, if you don't realize what's going on and who we are and that, you know, we have awakened for such a time as this, then like I said, it's your problem. You know, so understand the times that we're in is very complex in terms of deception, manipulation, and, you know, there's a lot of things that are being hidden right now. So what you don't realize, because a lot of you all don't research, and the ones who do research may not go deep enough, y'all do know that a lot of people are being deleted, right? I mean, not just war, but based over the last 5 years when people ate a lollipop. And we're right here in 2025, and all of the estimates seem to be aligning with the Deagle report. I mean, there are a lot of people with a lot of issues, health issues, mental issues, a lot of people who can't afford homes, no job, no food, no electricity, no help from the government. To be honest, the ones who are being deported, and at least if they're being deported back to their own homeland, they're the lucky ones. They're the lucky ones. You know, the ones who are still here like me and you, so far we're not the lucky ones. Now, like I said, I'm expecting the Most High to intervene. But understand, how did they overcome him? They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. You ever notice when Christians teach about that, about eschatology, and they quote that verse, they always leave out, and they love not their lives unto death. Give me a one if you notice that. The Christians always leave that out. They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony, and they stop right there. They stop right there. I don't think I ever heard one say, and they love not their lives unto death. I don't think I've heard one Gentile preacher say, and they love not their lives unto death. Understand that what we're dealing with is warfare. And in warfare, there is casualties. That's why I told you there's not a happy-go-lucky message today. There's not the giving type of message. It's not the kind of message that, you know, your pastors like to give. This is a stern message. This is a 10-toe down message. This is a message that says, are you ready? And y'all gonna say, Yakoba, ready for what? I see you got passports on that image. You saying it's time to go? I'm not saying it's time to go. I'm saying it's probably close to going. It's probably close to the time to leave. I don't know when we leaving. but it's not good. And the Deagle report is right on time. Now, let me tell you this. You know, and there's so much stuff I could cover, which I'm not going to cover. But, you know, Trump had supposedly got another ceasefire going on, right? And he talking peace, peace, when there is no peace. Y'all do know. Give me a one if you know this too. If you don't, y'all do know this is a pause, right? This isn't peace, and y'all do know that them people in the Middle East, right? The small hats, they don't believe in peace. Don't get it twisted. They're not signing no peace treaty. They got the Greater Israel plan. Y'all know what the Greater Israel plan is? Say yes if you do, no if you don't. Like I said, I'm the messenger. I'm here to let you know what's going on. Hey, guess what? Jacoba, the weatherman, says there's an overcast and look like the storm is coming in, and it's a 150-mile-an-hour wind of that hurricane coming towards the coastland of New York. For those who don't know what the Greater Israel plan is, that's the plan to create the Israel according to their belief in biblical geology, from the river Euphrates to the Tigris, which will be inclusive of Gaza, the West Bank, Syria, parts of Egypt, Jordan, and what's the other? Probably parts of Iran, which is probably why they want that. But who knows? But pretty much is to extend the borders. But they're supposed to be at peace, right? Because they went back into the land, and according to Jeremiah 30, they're supposed to be at rest, but they're not. But Christians keep following the same old foolish deception. And guess what? We all in the same boat because of their deception. We all in the same boat because of their racism. We all in the same boat because of white supremacy. Oh, yeah. We all on the same boat called Mystery Babylon. She's sinking. Oh, yeah. I could pull up so much stuff and tell you how Mystery Babylon is sinking. But hashtag ain't no fun to your prophecy. Jacoba don't know what he's talking about. We're not going anywhere. We're not fleeing. Okay. Now, I do believe they're playing a type of dialectic on us. They're giving us the end time scenario that the Christians expect. Not what the Bible teaches, but what the Christians expect. The eschatology that many of the Christian apologists taught back in the day. The Tom Horns and the Steve Quells. Even the Michael Heisers. They're giving us the eschatology that the Christian world expect, because according to that eschatology, the small hats, they're gonna go through a lot of stuff, but then they're gonna repent and turn to the Most High because they believe them to be the people. They don't believe us to be the people. Why? Because we Negroes, we're black, we're descendants of slaves, we're nobodies, we're not even human. But the scripture says that they were going to hate us without cause. We was going to be known by a byword. We was going to be scattered amongst the nations as slaves, but we're not the people, right? The Bible says that in the land of our captivity, we were going to what? Remember ourselves, but we're not the people, right? We got all of the traditions of the Old Testament Israelites, but we're not the people, right? I was just watching a video the other day of a Hebrew Israelite sister in Africa, and she had a bunch of locusts on her house, and she swept the locusts off the wall, right? And she put it in a bin and she cooked it and ate it. Now, for us, we'd be like, I ain't eating that. I don't eat insects. But guess what? According to the scriptures, locusts are clean. John the Baptist ate locusts and honey, but we're not the people. We've shown you all throughout history where the quote unquote Judaism and Yahwism and all of that renaming of our belief system. In reality, the belief system isn't Judaism. It is a lifestyle. It is a culture. It is a people and their practices. The Gentiles called it Judaism. They called it Yahwism. They gave all these terminologies just like they do today. But it was a group of people who had a covenant with the Most High, and these are the rules that they followed. And they took it from us, and they replaced us, and they reworded everything. But things, they be a changing. I'm going to put it this way, and like I said, you ain't going to like it. But here's the deal. And you know, build up your faith if you got problems with it, right? Because I know some people can't handle negativity, and anything that has to do with judgment and difficulty and struggle is negativity, and you don't want to hear it. I get it. That's why some people deal with what they call normalcy bias. Everything has to be normal. They cannot imagine things no longer being normal. Well, things are not normal. I'm going to tell you where we at today. And ain't nobody else going to tell you this because they don't have the guts to do it. We either getting out of here, fleeing, second Exodus, whatever you want to call it, or we not. If you know what I mean, read between the lines. We either getting out of here soon, or we not. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. That's the reality. If you didn't catch that, then that's your issue. President Donald J. Trump, the Son of Man, the Christ. This guy name is Mueller. Mueller is a German name. How interesting that is. I bet you he is Ashkenaz. I bet you. How much you want to bet? President Donald J. Trump, the Son of Man, the Christ. Passing laws to subjugate the true Ezra Alawi, promoting white supremacy, representing Rev 2939. They crowned him as a king. I'm not saying he the Antichrist because I really don't know. He could be. He sure is an Antichrist. But like I told you, something is going on behind the scenes, and there's manipulation, there's a dialectic, there's a deception, there's sleight of hand going on. And while everybody watching Iran and everybody's watching Russia and nobody's watching what's happening here at home. The Son of Man, the Christ. Really not. But he could be a temporary one. He could be a stand-in for the real Antichrist, because what may happen is, because they know prophecy has to be fulfilled, that the Messiah is supposed to come and what? Overthrow the Antichrist. So he might be a stand-in to deceive those who not learned in the word, that he is the Antichrist, and whoever comes to push him out of power is the Christ, or a Christ, or a Messiah. This is what looks like could be happening. I don't know. One thing I do know, a lot of people being deleted. A lot of people not here no more because of the lollipop. A lot of people being deleted because of bombs and all these things in the Middle East. Chaos all over the world, trials, tribulations, no jobs, like I said, running out of food. When the ports get shut down and Strait of Hormuz gets closed, good luck getting any other products. But Satan comes as an angel of light, right? And that's what happening, right? All these guys are Freemasons. All these guys are devil worshipers. Some of the camps are as well. Some of the camps are Freemasons. Some of the camps are devil worshipers. They may not agree with that, but they definitely Freemasons, which if they are, makes them devil worshipers. So here's how they are manipulating us, and they send in these particular guys, and they come against the alphabets, and they come against the pedos, and they come against things that everybody have a problem with, while at the same time implementing the beast system. They come in to try to fix our food and get rid of the dyes and get rid of the poisons that is put into our food, while they implement the beast system. RFK Jr. wants every American to use wearable health data collecting technology. Can we say one step toward the mark of the beast? Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. wants all Americans to use wearable technology to track their health as part of his Maha agenda. I'm not wearing it. Mama ain't raised no fool. That's just a step away from the mark of the beast. I ain't no fool. The Kennedy clan strongman revealed his agency's plan Tuesday for a massive push for Americans who have an obesity rate of 40% to use wearable data collecting technology such as Fitbits, Oura Rings, and Apple Watches to promote healthy lifestyle. No, they want to track you. And they want to track your health. And they want to track your emotions, your thoughts, and how you feel. Oh, they're not going to tell you that. They didn't tell you that the Fitbits and all these things can probably monitor more than your blood pressure, or maybe tell when you're lying or doing other things. We're about to launch the biggest advertising campaign in HHS history to encourage Americans to use wearables. Can I say to encourage Americans to take the form of the mark of the beast? Kennedy said in the House Committee on Energy and Commerce hearing on Tuesday, it's a way people can take control of their own health. They can take responsibility. They can see, as you know, what food is doing to their glucose levels, their heart rates, and a number of other metrics as they eat it. The secretary said in the statement, which was also posted to X. We think that wearables are a key to MAHA agenda of making America healthy again. And my vision is that every American is wearing a wearable in 4 years. Is that not the deadline? And I told you this before. 2030 is the deadline for the mark of the beast. Full implementation, social credit scores, tracking, but hashtag ain't no 400 years. I told you. Kennedy expressed the belief that with accurate and timely health data, Americans will exert better judgment in their diet and will even opt for more exercise. How about we just get food that has nutrients in it? How about we start there? How about we start at not spraying the wheat with chemicals and spraying the vegetables with chemicals? How about we start there? Why do we have to be a part of another social media tracking, AI monitoring system? The Trump official had previously argued during his Senate confirmation hearing that obesity in the United States poses a national security risk affecting military readiness. Okay, but why the technology? Why not clean food? Why not organic food? President Trump's nominee for Surgeon General, Dr. Casey Means, is also an advocate for wearables, continuous glucose monitoring products. Oh, so what they want to do is let the rich keep getting richer and let the technocrats, once again, control and monitor you. Don't you realize that America has been taken over by a coup d'etat of billionaires? Give me a one if you've realized that America has been taken over by a coup d'etat of billionaires. Did y'all hear about the billionaires who are now lieutenant colonels in the Army? They didn't even have to go through basic training, but now they're part of this special task force where they are a part of the U.S. military system. We're talking about billionaires are now lieutenant colonels in the Army. Why is that? It's because America has been taken over through a coup d'etat of billionaires. Let's not get it twisted. Everybody else is asleep. You don't have to. You don't have to be asleep. Ain't nobody else know what's going on, but you don't have to be asleep. Kennedy revealed last week that coffee giant Starbucks will make MAHA-inspired amendments to its menu. Though the company already avoids artificial flavors, dyes, high fructose corn syrup, and other unhealthy additives, RFK Jr. took his first pound of flesh off of the Americans earlier this year when he outlawed the use of artificial dyes in American food products. I mean, that's the least he could do, but who needs the technology? Once again, billionaires are becoming richer, and the common man is becoming poor. Did they not say if the Republicans get in power, the rich going to get richer and the poor going to be poor? I'm just saying. There's a agenda afoot, and most people don't realize what that agenda is.
actually the end of a very long cycle that dates back to 1492 and onward, because it started with a voyage that was a little bit went awry and changed the world fundamentally. And they say that, how do you know that Christopher Columbus was an economist, by the way? He didn't know where he was going. He didn't know where he was when he got there, and it was all on a government grant. So this is par for the course. But the world became a European-led world with a lot of cruelty and a lot of inequality and a lot of domination, and with a lot of remarkable technological development that came along with it, but that was utilized as a form of power and oppression as well. And the United States dominated the world for about a half a century after 1945. Now we're in a very different world, and the voices of other parts of the world are really important and growing, and that means that in the media and in the political life in the Western world, there's a lot more anxiety actually than there is in China, for example, or in India, where it's not pessimistic. It's not feeling that the world's falling apart. It's feeling that the world is changing in the right direction, actually. And I would say if you look at opinion surveys in Africa, there's a tremendous amount of optimism, actually. Africa is the most optimistic single continent in the world, if you look at opinion surveys. So the world's changing, and it leads to a lot of anxiety, and the anxiety is highest in the United States because nobody likes to be pushed off the perch. But the fact of the matter is the world's becoming a lot more interesting, diverse, interconnected. You're a very diverse group, but not quite diverse enough. Are there any Chinese faces here? No.
We have somebody from Hong Kong.
Okay, good. Hong Kong, we were just there. It's wonderful. And India? Great, okay. So between the two, you're 40% of the world population, but not exactly 40% of this room. So it's just to say, we don't have to have complete demographic equality, but you're a very diverse group, which is extremely important, very important. And the world's even more diverse, if I could put it that way. So we need to strive for that. And viewed in that perspective, my own view is, I'll say a grim statement and then an optimistic statement. If we don't blow things up, which is possible, then things are going to be okay. And by that, I mean the world that is taking shape will be more equal, more open, actually benefiting from a lot of the breakthroughs in technology. The real worry I have is just disaster in the short term, because my country is the worst led that it's ever been, and our political system has collapsed. So we have one person rule, which is not exactly the way to run a society of 335 million people and $30 trillion of output, but that's what we have for the moment. But if we can avoid the catastrophes, we actually, not just rhetorically and not just optimistically, we really have a lot of solutions in this world for food production, for sustainable energy, for better education and healthcare systems, for all sorts of things that are completely wonderful. They're getting discovered, they're getting developed, you're pioneering many of them. They're not getting undertaken at the scale that they need and the pace that they need by any means, but they could be, because there's no fundamental shortfall of resources or know-how. We're not running out of particular minerals so that we can't do this. We're not running out of land so that we're in a struggle for who eats and who doesn't eat. We're not running out of energy because solar radiation is about 5,000 times our power usage on the planet. So if we deploy solar power, which is now cheaper than any other kind of power, we're not in an energy shortage as well.
So if you listen to Sachs, okay, and if you listen to him in the past, you will see him as a good guy, right? He's for the underclass, he's for the commoner, he's for, the regular guy to make, a living and not be under the dictatorial hand of the West and the, white supremacy and all these things, right? But if you notice what he's saying, he's still, because he's associated now with the United Nations. And what you hear him saying here is really preaching the message of the United Nations. So if we make it past this, he says, if we don't blow ourselves up, then we're going to be in a better state. Well, for who? Right? Because what we're going to end up with, if we continue down this road, right, is a oligarchy on a international level still controlled by them folks. Right. I mean, that's the goal. Right. And so they know that they cannot continue to rule the world order. Right. The way they have been. Right. As, the whore is, as she rides the beast and gives everyone, okay, the rules here, obey the rules, else we're going to come and knock you upside the head. Right. They're trying to get it to be ruled by consortium. But at the same time, what's going to happen is they're going to be the ones at the top. Why? Because they built the structure. Once again, just like they did with America, for the United Nations, for the world governmental system, they built the structure. They built the New World Order international system. And Russia's going to be a part of it. BRICS is going to be a part of it. The West is going to be a part of it. But this is the goal, right? It is order out of chaos. This is what's happening. So as I mentioned before, as the scripture says, trust not your enemy. For as iron rusted, so does his scent. You can't trust none of these people. Even when they look like they're for you, they are against you, just like RFK Jr. Oh, well, I'm coming in. I'm coming in to help you, and I'm going to help fix the food supply because we know the food supply is poison. Let's get rid of the obvious poisons. Let's get rid of the dyes. Let's get rid of all of these other things, all of these ingredients and the GMOs and all, right? All of the obvious stuff. But guess what? Let's replace that with a wearable. Let's replace that with the mark of the beast. Because it's only for your good. The reason why we want you to wear the wearable is so we can monitor your health and make sure you're okay. And if you have a heart attack, guess what? We're going to be notified instantly, and we could go ahead and send the ambulance right away. You don't even have to call us because guess what? AI is monitoring it and say, oh, so-and-so had a heart attack. Send the ambulance. All leading to the mark of the beast.
And they are divided because the United States says you're on our side and they're the enemy to China and Japan, and to Korea and Japan vis-a-vis China. The three got together because they see the U.S. Not such a great protector of their interests, and they said we need to improve relations with each other. This is very, very good. And if you think about Iran and Saudi Arabia, for example, which was defined by the U.S. to be the fundamental schism of Shia and Sunni, and so much of U.S. policy was playing the Sunnis against Shia, Iran, and so forth. They made a rapprochement last year, which China helped to broker in a very wise way. The United States would never have done it and never even have thought about it, but China was very helpful. So truly, I'm not so pessimistic at all. I just see the world changing, and I can understand the pessimism in the newspapers that I happen to read in the US, because they're all geared around the idea of the US as number one. And if you put that aside, I like a world in which China's playing a much larger role, and India's playing a much larger role, and the African Union's playing a much larger role, and Saudi Arabia's playing a much larger role. To me, this is a great world. It's a.
They don't want Africa to play a huge role. Why? Because then they're going to have to pay market price for the resources. They don't want to do that. They don't want the Negroes to become a first world nation. They have all the gold, all the silver, all the bauxite, all the animals, all the water. They have, all of the great land. I mean, there's nothing to stop Africa from being number one, unless they lock them down in their system. And their system is also tied to democracy. If you support democracy, then you're confused. See, democracy is the means by which the people with wealth can control nations. Money can influence elections. Money can influence people. They can influence your vote through media. But if you got a strong king, the king does what he thinks is right. Now, if you get a bad king, then you are under judgment. If you got a good king, then you probably living according to the laws of the Most High, and therefore you okay.
Places, being older and gray hair, but you know how to fix our phones and computers a lot better than we do. And what's going on with the latest apps and how to use them and so forth. And that's actually unique knowledge in our world right now. And so it's really important that you're at the table. It's true, you should be at the table for two reasons. One, to protect the interests of your generation against 78-year-old US presidents that don't know how to think ahead. So that's true. But I don't think that's the main reason you should be at the table. The main reason you should be at the table is you can help move this agenda forward in a very significant way. So,
all right. So what agenda is that? It's the global agenda, right? So let's continue. You should go listen to this video. But basically, he's saying that America is falling. Now, I sort of remember that I did a video years ago, called The Fall of the Gentile Powers. Hey, before everybody started saying it, right? And I got a lot of heat for it. Now Jeffrey Sachs says America's downfall.
We are now on day 3 of having no power on 98-degree days. Luckily for us, we have a generator that at least powers our water, a few lights, and our fridges and freezers. But that's about it. Nobody has AC. Most people have no water. Most people have no anything. I don't know how we are out here surviving. Like, it is so hot. We can't even be like, oh, the power went out, let's go outside. No, we are screwed. Our houses are getting hot. And just to add to the stress, a few towns over, multiple towns lost power last night. So they're working on fixing not only our town's power, but another town's power. So if it's hot right now in your town, fucking prepare. Be prepared, because your grid might go out next. As you can see, the temp in our house right now at 10 a.m. is 79 degrees, and that is only because we have a portable AC hooked up over here, at least trying to keep our house manageable. But like I said, most people don't have that. And yesterday, by the end of the day, with like how high the heat was outside, our house was up to 86. So I know by the end of the day today, we didn't start out that high yesterday morning. So by the end of the day today, that's likely going to be at least 90 degrees inside our homes with a portable AC running. So I cannot even imagine the people that have literally nothing. Their homes are probably already at 100 degrees plus. I don't know what people are doing with their dogs, their cats, their pets. I don't know what's going on, but it's not good.
This is what's coming across the U.S., right? This is part of the agenda. This is part of the 2025 agenda, the Deagle report stuff, all of that, right? The order out of chaos, that's what's happening. And that's why I told you that, there's not the happy-go-lucky message. This is the prepare message. This is the message of get ready. Because if you're not ready, you're not going to survive. I'm expecting the Most High to come. I can't tell you when. We must through much tribulation into the kingdom. So just so you know, the U.S. has been under a terror alert. Let's look at that.
The United States is now officially in a heightened threat environment. The Department of Homeland Security just issued a terrorism advisory following the U.S. military strikes in Iran. Here's what that means. Federal officials are warning of two primary threats: cyber attacks and violent extremism. Cyber threats from Iranian-backed hacker groups are targeting American infrastructure, government systems, utilities, and even financial networks. At the same time, there's a growing risk of lone wolf and sleeper cell terror attacks here at home, possibly targeting Jewish communities, government buildings, military sites, or public gatherings. Foreign terror organizations like Hamas and Hezbollah are actively pushing online propaganda, encouraging retaliation against the United States, creating an environment that's volatile and unpredictable. Ladies and gentlemen, the threat of attacks in and on America is real and verified. Whether we declare it or not, we are at war. Things at home are about to get spicy. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments and make sure you follow for more real-time updates.
So just as we saw in the previous video, that particular woman, they were out of power. Now, we don't know if that was a terrorist attack or not. Now, do we? They would never tell us if that was a terrorist attack. Now, will they? So this is what they were talking about, right? All of these things. And, they were saying there's going to be cyber attacks, grid down events, and all of this type of stuff. And based upon that, they said 90-something% of American citizens won't survive it. Well, once again, I believe in the prophecies. I believe in the Most High. And I'm expecting him to come and get us. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there seems to be the slight deception, right? There's not slight, but great deception, really. And, when I was looking at the bombings, right? When I would look at the videos of what's happening in that land in the Middle East with the people with the small hat, the Rev 2939s, I looked at it and I was like, because, I notice a lot of things and I pay attention. I said, every time I see a picture of these neighborhoods that were supposedly hit by missiles, I said the shots are always close-ups. Have y'all noticed that? When you look at the bombings of that place in the Middle East, it's always close-ups. You don't see no drone footage of the entire area, right? It's always close-ups. And I was like, that looks like a set. I said, that looks like a movie set to me. It don't look real. I mean, look how I look. It looks just like a movie set. It don't look real. All right. So look at this. I mean, this is pretty interesting. Whether or not it's true or not is, we'll see. Well,
do you see what I see? Notice this. Does that strike you as odd? A woman carrying a giant pile of rubble and barely looks like it weighs anything at all. Where have we seen this before? And I'm going to show you something else too. Carrying a giant bucket of rubble and then immediately setting it down off camera. Also, look, carrying it with one hand as this guy struggles to carry his bucket because he's a better actor, right? We're going to watch this again. Notice something else. If you were here cleaning rubble, wouldn't you have some stains on you? Wouldn't you be a little bit dirty? Instead, they're perfectly clean and able to carry large blocks of rubble with complete ease. No problem at all. Tiny little woman carrying a giant block of rubble and a giant bucket of rubble with just one arm, completely clean, and then sets it down off camera right there.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised.
What's up, guys? It's Justin Musk from Tex. We are actually on vacation, but I just learned that Fox News has issued a travel alert inside the United States. I'm not talking just the major ports like Miami, LA, Chicago, and then Washington. I mean, we're talking Atlanta, Dallas, Phoenix, Boston, Minneapolis, Seattle, Charlotte. What has happened to our country? Like, I don't even recognize it right now. Inside the United States, travel warning. And I was just talking to somebody on here who actually lives in downtown LA, Sam Shalhoub. I might have said his last name wrong, so sorry, sir. But he just let me know that LA, downtown LA, is actually on a curfew starting tonight from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. You know what, folks? You're waving your little flags for the countries you love so much. If you love them so much, please go back. We don't need this garbage in our streets. We don't want it. And when I look at how things have escalated in this country, you want to know why? It's because we got soft and we got too worried about being politically correct. You know what? I'm done being politically correct. Enough's enough. It's time we stand our ground and we get rid of this bullshit. Drop your comments below. Let me know what you think.
So one of the things that I also heard is that Texas is under a warning as well. You know, I'm assuming for some terroristic threats. And I think Atlanta's another. There's some other ones. Once again, who started all of this? Who picked the fight? Who changed the laws? It's them folks. Always has been, always will be, ever since they enslaved us during the Inquisition, ever since colonization, transatlantic slave trade, all of that, is them pushing their agenda to control the world's resources and the world economy and individuals. I told you they want to make Borgs out of us. And they're moving along with that agenda. And RFK Jr. is moving along with them with his wearables. But hashtag ain't no 400-year prophecy. Yacoba teaching fear doctrine. So just in case you didn't know, right? Trump said recently that you know, they're moving along and he pushed the ceasefire and he says that, you know, now we're going to have peace, right? And then he says, all we need to do to get the golden age is to push my big, beautiful bill. Now, if you don't know what the big, beautiful bill is, it's a bill that was submitted to Congress, to the Senate, and it's waiting for approval. And he says, you need to get this passed ASAP. You need to get the big, beautiful bill passed ASAP because then we can have the golden age, right? And what you're going to get with the big, beautiful bill is total anarchy and total lockdowns and, you know, Nazi-like propaganda and control. That's why I say it's like most people are not informed enough to come and tell me I'm wrong, right? They tell me I'm wrong. Well, you know, Yacoba wrong, blah, blah, blah. He's teaching fear doctrine, blah, blah, blah. But they're not educated enough because they don't care like that. I'm called to do what I'm doing, and I know I am called to do what I'm doing. Some of them just went. They weren't called. So here's what the big beautiful bill will have that is totalitarian, right? There's other things within it, right? Like, but anyway, things that's going to cause us trouble. So one, sweeping AI preemption at the state level. So for 10 years, according to the big beautiful bill, states cannot enforce or even pass any AI rules except narrow criminal laws that blocks protections for privacy, election security, transparency, and automated decision systems, and more. That creates a regulatory vacuum where AI flows unchecked, including into schools, courthouses, workplaces, while communities lose local control and tools to counter algorithmic biases. So we know right now that a lot of the facial recognition systems has a bias against people of color. And so when we look at what's happening, you're going to see that AI is going to have a bias as well against people of color. So with this 10 years, right, where you can't make any state or local level laws to preempt, right, these laws created by the federal government for AI, and AI can do what it wants. The reason why they want this is because what they're not telling you is that within 10 years, unless you're going to have AI that is a judge. And when you have a criminal case or a civil case, you're going to bring it to a AI judge. There will no longer be any human judges. You're going to have AI doctors. There will no longer be human doctors. And so if something goes wrong with AI, you can't do anything about it. You can't stop it. You can't prohibit it. That's why I told y'all I'm getting out of here before 2030, and maybe 2030 is too late. They're moving too fast. Number two, crippling judicial enforcement of federal rulings. Section 70302 requires anyone suing the government to post a bond before courts can enforce injunctions or contempt orders. Existing orders could become toothless. That weakens the federal judiciary's role as a check on unconstitutional executive actions, affecting everything from voting rights to immigration, public protests, even drug-free school zones. So with the big, beautiful bill, you're not going to be able to stop them if they're going against the law. If anything they do is against the Constitution, you don't have any rights to come against them. You think they're not coming after black folks? Number three, massive ICE funding increase. The bill allocates $75 billion more to ICE over several years, well beyond current levels. Combined with the weakening of legal oversight, this empowers federal enforcement to act with less accountability, heightening risk of targeting minority communities through deportation rate surveillance. So based upon what we see in number two, it affects number three. Why? Because if ICE grabs you off the street and you have proof of your citizenship, here's my birth certificate, here's my passport, and they send your butt to Guantanamo or send you over there to Libya, there's nothing you can do about it, even though you're a U.S. citizen. Why? Because you no longer have constitutional protections based upon number two. Now, the Constitution is supposed to be the law of the land. They are not supposed to override the Constitution, but hey, he who have the guns make the rules. This is the big, beautiful bill act. Number four, selling immunity to polluters and new rollback of environmental oversight. The bill allows energy companies to bypass judicial review and environmental law by paying a fee, then avoiding lawsuits, cleanup, and public input on land use. This prioritizes corporate interests over community safety and environmental protections, especially affecting low-income and minority neighborhoods near pollution sources. They can poison your air, your land, your food, your water, and there's nothing you can do about it. But you're not going to flee, right? That's what y'all told me. Number 5, digital ID surveillance. Although not a headline item, splashes in the ACLU have flagged efforts to expand phone home digital IDs, tracking citizens' movements every time they use a license or card. That builds an invasive centralized surveillance system threatening privacy and chilling the behavior of those with limited resources or unequal legal protection. Once again, it's going to affect minorities. It's going to affect Black folks. But you're not going to leave. Together, they build a system where federal power grows unchecked, state autonomy is removed, dissent and oversight are weakened, and surveillance expands. These moves disproportionately affect Black and Indigenous, Hispanic, and other marginalized groups who rely on local protections, benefit from federal court oversight, and are often targets of law enforcement and environmental injustice. Did I not tell you that there has been a coup d'etat by billionaires? This is why RFK Jr. gonna force you to take a mark or a chip, at least the prerequisite for it, which is the wearables. And the wearables are gonna lead to the tattoo and the chips implant. The bill's breadth goes beyond policy tweaks. It restructures power, transferring it away from courts, local democracy, individual privacy, and environmental safeguards. Now, all of this is against the Constitution, mind you. I mean, you cannot legislate anything above the Constitution, but that's what they're doing. And look, all of this ties back to the global system that is controlled by the billionaires, right? Social media, digital IDs, tracking surveillance, right? It's all tied back to the oligarchs or the technocrats. So I know that because most of you all deal with normalcy bias, you're not going to be ready for anything. At the very least, make sure you're ready to meet the Most High. Not following man, not following their doctrine, asking the Most High to teach you himself. I'm going to tell you right now, it's best to start doing right by others. Matthew 7:12. So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you, for this sums up the law and the prophets. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This fulfills the laws and the prophets. Some of y'all mad at your mama. Some of y'all mad at your daddy. Some of y'all mad at your brothers. Some of y'all mad at your cousins. Y'all better just love them. Some of y'all mad at your children. You better do good to them. This may be the last time you see any of them. I know you don't want to hear it. John 13:34-35. A new command I give you, love one another as I have loved you. So you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another. He's not talking about the world. He's talking, first of all, about the family, the Israelites. Secondly, he's talking about the adopted kids, which are the believing Gentiles, but specifically about Israelites. How do I know that? Leviticus 19:18. Do not seek revenge or bear a grudge against anyone among what? Your people. But love your neighbor as yourself. I am Yahuwah. Well, you're supposed to turn the other cheek, but you're supposed to love everybody, and you Israelites don't love anybody. Do not seek revenge or bear grudge against anyone among your people. I told you it's an Israelite book, an Israelite culture, an Israelite perspective. I'm not saying treat anybody wrong, but here's the thing. Christianity then neutered us. Christianity makes it where you don't want to fight against the enslaver. Christianity makes it where you don't oppose the oppressor because you don't know your word. You've been brainwashed. All these people coming out talking about the Israelites this and the Israelites that. And I'm not saying we perfect, but you Christians ain't nowhere near perfect either. As a matter of fact, y'all fall from it because y'all don't even believe the laws are valid. You at least would do well to obey the 10 commandments at minimum. But y'all don't do that. Some of them have the nerve to teach that they can sin and it's okay. Romans 12:10, be devoted to one another in love, honor one another above yourselves. Talking about the Israelites. It's an Israelite book. I'm not saying we're supposed to treat people wrong, but it's talking about the Israelites. And it's the adopted family kids called Gentiles, but specifically the Israelites. Romans 13:8-10. Let no debt remain outstanding except the continued debt to love one another, for whoever loves others has fulfilled the law. The commandments, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not murder, you shall not steal, you shall not covet, and whatever other command there may be. So not just the 10, but whatever other command there may be. Not just the 10, but whatever other command there may be are summed up in this one command. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love does no harm to a neighbor, therefore love is the fulfillment of the law. Well, who are we talking about there, Jacoba? Are we supposed to love the wicked Gentiles who pew us in the street? I didn't say the righteous Gentiles. I said the wicked Gentiles who pew us in the street. No, because Leviticus 19 says, do not seek revenge or bear grudge against anyone among your people, but love your neighbor as yourself. Love your neighbor as yourself. What? Among your people. Same law. Just as these are the same laws that our ancestors had. This is the same law that we see in Leviticus amongst our people. Come on now, tell me I'm teaching wrong. No, you just ignorant. First John 3:18, dear children, let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and in truth. Y'all love me. You love this ministry. Support it. You love what Tail Ministries do. Support it. Some of our people are hard up. You love them. Support them. Now, some people are going to try to take advantage of you, obviously. You love your brother or your sister who's down and out. Support them. Some of y'all mad at your mama, but y'all broke up. Y'all don't talk no more, but she on the street or she don't have no food. Help her anyway. She family. I know some of y'all don't like this. Well, you don't know what they did to me, Jacob. No, I don't. That's between you and the Most High. I'm saying you're not going to have another chance to do it. I'm saying that the things that are happening today are not normal, and what you expect for tomorrow, a good day, a nice day, a sunny day, you might not get it. You might not be able to talk to your mama again. You may not be able to talk to your daddy again. You may not be able to talk to your cousins and your brothers and your sisters and your aunties and your uncles again. You best do it now. First John 4:7-8, dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from Yahuwah. Everyone who loves has been born of Yahuwah and knows Yahuwah. Whoever does not love does not know Yahuwah, because Yahuwah is love. That's not saying the wicked. As I showed you, it's your own people and also the righteous Gentiles, because they're family now. I know some of y'all don't believe that. Some of y'all think that the Gentiles are the northern tribes. I get it. I disagree. 1 Peter 4:8, above all, love each other deeply because love covers over a multitude of sins. Love is what's going to get us through this. Helping each other is what's going to get us through this. Love is an action word. Supporting each other is love. Helping each other is love. If you see your brother without a coat and you got an extra coat, give him the extra coat. That's love. Don't tell me you love me and don't give me nothing. Don't tell me, Gentiles, that you know we the Israelites and you know what your ancestors have done to us, but you were willing to give those people in the Middle East thousands and millions of dollars, but y'all don't help us out. Y'all see our people on the street. You see, they're getting rid of SNAP benefits. They're getting rid of everything. They're getting rid of the jobs. But guess what? After what y'all did to us, stole our homes, stole our property, took out our family members, kicked the man out the house, but y'all don't want to support us? That ain't love. Oh, well, I know y'all the people. Okay, next, what else? I know y'all the people, but yeah, where your check at? I know y'all the people, well, those who bless Israel gonna be blessed. Well, y'all did it for them folks when you thought they were the people, but now you know we the people. What? Your hands closed. You ain't gonna get another chance to do it. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand, both Jew and Gentile. You ain't gonna get another chance to do it. Whatever outstanding issues you got, if you still care for your brothers and your sisters who you got issues with, your mama, your daddy, if you still got some love for them, you best fix it. Even if you can't resolve it and clean it, you could still say, hello, how you doing? I'm praying for you. You need anything? If it's within your means. If it's not within your means, then it's not within your means. I'm just saying, you don't know you're going to make it. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. I told you ain't going to want to hear this one. You don't know if you're going to make it. See, people be lying to y'all, telling y'all half truths. When I tell you the whole truth, when I tell you the Bible says you're going to have to flee. Oh, no, we're not going to have to flee. But the Bible says you're going to flee. Oh, no, we don't have to flee. I tell you the truth. Galatians 5:13-14. You, my brothers and sisters, were called to be free, but do not use your freedom to indulge the flesh. Some of y'all fleshy. Some of y'all messing with toys. Some of y'all on the DL. Rather serve one another humbly in love, for the entire law is fulfilled in keeping this one command: love your neighbor as yourself. Who's my neighbor? Family is my neighbor. The bloodline Israelites my neighbor. And now some of the adopted family called Gentile. Righteous Gentile. But understand, them curses going to be flipping on them as, you know, regardless if you're a righteous Gentile or not, you'll be lucky to get out of here with us. I don't know. Look, personally, I don't think most Gentiles leaving with us. Oh, yeah. You know when they're going to find out when it's too late? You know when they're going to want to come to Africa and follow us back home is when it's too late. You know when they're going to start listening to us about the law not being done away with when it's too late? Philippians 2:3-4. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interest, but each of you to the interest of the others. And this is the major problem we have in the Israelite community. Because some of y'all are doing things out of vain ambition. Some of y'all want to grow a church. Some of y'all want to become a mega Israelite ministry. Some of y'all want to be influential and over others. Well, guess what? The ones who are the teachers are going to be held to a stricter standard. And if you're leading people into error, then guess what? You're going to be judged harshly. Understand that what we have happening today is happening very, very, very fast. Understand that most people have no understanding that this is even occurring right now. They don't understand that people who ate a lollipop, they all disappearing real quick. And it's hush, hush. It's silent, silent. And every time I look around, give me a 1 if every time you look around somebody is deleted. Give me a 2 if it's not. I'm sorry. Every time I'm looking around, somebody's deleted. I've been on this earth a decent time now. I've never seen anything like this. But guess what? Nobody's warning you. Now, if all of these people that we're seeing are being deleted because of what happened over the last 5 years, how close you think it is to your door? Even if you didn't eat a lollipop, even if you did not eat a lollipop, do you not know that they making you ill by the food you eat and the lack of nutrition in it and the poisons in the water and the poison in the clothes? Do you not know this is the reason some of you all have high blood pressure, diabetes? Do you not know this is why some of you all are on medication, and the same medication that's supposed to help you is reducing your kidney function and reducing your liver? Babylon is hell. America is hell. This is not a good place to be. Well, Jacobo, you know, we got technology and we got good houses. And guess what? I could get that nice car, but you don't have quality of life. You stuck to the system because you got to take their medications. You got a growth on your back because of the foods that you're eating. You're dizzy and have anxiety because of Wi-Fi poisoning. You're driving around in electric vehicles that's killing you. You're standing in front of computer screens and mobile phones that's stopping you from sleeping. Everything in this country is awful. The only good thing is your family. The only good thing is the righteous. The only good thing is the ones who love Yahuwah. The only good thing is the ones who with you even when they don't have nothing, who support you when they're hurting, who love you in sickness and in health. That's the only good thing. The ones who still have a righteous idea of community. As I've said in the past, black women, black men don't like each other no more. They both marrying white folks. But you can't blame them because the culture has been corrupted through music and media, through Hollywood. Women don't know how to submit to a man. Women don't understand that it ain't about your happiness. It's about the covenant. It ain't about you being happy. It's about you being honorable to the covenant. Because life change, feelings change, emotions change, hormones change. It ain't about you. But women divorce you in a heartbeat. These women are there divorce a brother in a heartbeat. I just don't feel like I used to feel. He think I'm his maid. He think I'm supposed to wash his dirty drawers and cook for him all the time and take care of the kids and give him some nook every now and then. That sounds like the role of a wife to me. Well, Jacoba, that's not what a wife is today. We're independent. That's called feminism. I guarantee you, if we ever leave America and go back to the continent, which I believe we will, you ain't going to be Miss Independent no more. Don't get it twisted. You ain't going to survive on a continent without a male, without a man, without a husband. You ain't going to be able to survive on your own on the continent. Come on now. You're going to marry a man and you ain't going to divorce him. Why? Because you know if you get rid of him, you ain't surviving on a continent without a brother. See, Babylon has confused y'all. Babylon thinks you have a say-so in everything you do, and it's all about you, and it's all about your happiness, and it ain't about covenant, and it ain't about family. That's what y'all think. You don't have no say-so. You signed it. You put your signature on the contract. You said I do. Now, in good and bad, in sickness and in health, you're supposed to stay together. God hates divorce. If he ain't putting his hands on you, if he ain't beating you, if he's providing for you, you need to stay in that family. I'm going to tell you, I told y'all I was naive. I didn't know women cheat like they do. I told y'all I didn't know women be cheating more than men. I knew men was bad, right? I knew men was bad, but hey, guess what? It's sort of in men's nature because men are polygamous by nature, at least the Israelites are. But I ain't never knew women cheat like they do. Oh, yeah, I was naive. I'm not saying all y'all bad. Don't get it twisted. I'm not doing that. I'm saying that our community, our society, our culture has been infiltrated, has been corrupted, and our people don't know what's right and what's wrong. Our people don't understand the idea of building a community. We don't understand the idea of building a nation. We don't understand the idea of keeping your covenant agreements, and that's marriage as well. I didn't mean to go into this, but I guess it was something I had to speak on. Why? Because I see so many people saying, you know what? I'm not happy no more. I'm leaving him. Guess what? You're going to leave him, all right. And you're going to be by yourself for the rest of your life, more than likely, statistics wise. You might get some jump offs every now and then, but you're going to be by yourself. You do better keeping your husband and working through it and building a life and raising kids and raising a family and building something to leave to your children. They got y'all separating because you're not happy. They got y'all separating, so now you can't build something and leave an inheritance to your children and your children's children. But Jacoba, you don't understand. He ignores me because he's working all the time. Yeah, he's trying to put food on the table and a roof over your head. I'm not saying men perfect. Far from it. And as a matter of fact, I think a lot of men are part of the problem. Don't get it twisted. I do. But you sisters were always a little better than us. At least I thought so. I thought y'all had a little bit more family togetherness. And I think in the past that was the case. Something changed. And look, like I said, I don't know your situation. I'm not telling you what to do. All I'm saying is sometimes you got to work it out. Sometimes the fire going to be gone. When the kids come, the hormones go away. When the kids come, you focus on the children. When the kids come, you can't go out to the parties as much and dance as much. When the kids come, they take all your time and all your money and all your energy. And you don't have enough time for each other until the kids grow up and the kids move out. And then you can spend a little more time. But guess what? The hormones are gone. The excitement is gone. That's why it becomes friendship. That's why it becomes respect. That's why it becomes honoring one another. See, that's what we don't realize because we think we all have to feel a certain way. No, you my friend. But you my wife as well. You his wife and you're his friend. And you're supposed to overlook his weaknesses and help him where he's weak. That's why you're called a helpmeet. Because the woman was made for the man. Y'all don't want to help the man. Y'all don't want to cook. Y'all don't want to clean. You don't want to take care of the kids. You don't want to, give them some love. You don't, because y'all don't want to be the helpmeet. That's what you was created for, to help the man. I know y'all don't want to hear this. But if you believe the scriptures, but that's why our families are broken. And that's why the men are now marrying them folks and not you. Because them folks, at least for a while, they're a little bit more submissive for a while, and then they start calling you the N-word. Like I said, it's a personal decision. Don't feel guilty because of what I say. I'm not making you feel guilty. I just want you to understand, in order to build a nation, we got to fix it. The houses got to become stable. The children got to become obedient. The wives got to become honorable. The women got to become virgins again. If I send my son to meet your daughter, she needs to be a virgin. I don't want to be hearing nothing about no body counts. It's insane. Don't get mad at me, sisters, because I'm not pointing the finger at y'all, because men are just as bad. I get it. I get it. What I'm saying is we got to get back to the traditional ways, the biblical ways, and honor the hierarchy. And see, if we go back to the old ways, when a man finds a woman, he's looking for a jewel. See, when a woman has more than one person and she got all these counts on her head, she's not valuable. When you keep your virginity before you get married, you're valuable. When everybody can't get it, you're valuable. If you hold it till marriage, he got to pay for it to get it. I get it, family. Sometimes men aren't leaders. I get it. I'm not, like I say, I'm not pointing it. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not saying you wrong. What I'm saying is both sides got to get it straight. But what I'm saying as well is that if you want a husband, you got to present yourself as valuable. Because what is common, no man wants. People want what is rare. They want the gold. They want the silver. They don't want the dirt. They don't want the brass. Everybody gets that. That's just the way of life. But if you notice, there's way too many divorces. And most of the divorces are initiated by women. That's a fact. So we got to get it straight. Look, If you're in an abusive relationship, that's between you and the Most High. I ain't telling you to stay in it. I'm just saying, think about the long term. Think about the legacy, right? Think about the inheritance. Think about the fact that 2 cords is stronger than a single cord. Think about the fact that you have more wealth being married than you do being single. Think about the fact that when you get old, you need somebody there for you to look after you. Think about the fact that, okay, you might have family, you might have a brother and a sister and your mom and them. You don't know if they're going to be there for you. But if you got a husband and if you got a wife, and you know, y'all doing right by each other, at least you got somebody to help you if you get sick. That's the natural order. We got to fix it. And the reason why I'm saying is because, as I said, the whole thing is that we need to love one another. And you may not get a chance again before you see the Most High to love that person or to forgive that person. And like I say, don't do nothing because I tell you to do. You know your situation better than me. I ain't telling you to get in a situation that's going to put you in a hole. Some people I know you can't get along with. I get it. I'm just saying that sometimes I think people take the easy way out, not understanding that it's not going to always be fire like when you're in your youth. It's not going to always be hot and heavy as in your youth. It becomes mundane. You pay bills, you pay taxes. But the families have always been divided by the system. The white supremacists had kept the man out of the house. In order to get help, the man had to be out the house. Why would they pass such a law that, okay, we'll help the family so long as the man is not in the house? To destroy our families. Look, these people are wicked. I'm not saying every single one of them, but the ones in power are wicked. The ones in leadership are wicked. They're passing all of these laws to destroy us, and they're doing it again with the Big Beautiful Bill Act. They're doing it again with the Big Beautiful Bill Act. So understand that, you know, we can fix it, but the only way we can fix it is to align with the word of the Most High and do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If your husband is a narcissist, I can't tell you stay in that. I wouldn't tell you stay in that, but that's not my business. That's between you and the Most High. Like I say, I don't know what you're dealing with. Same thing with that man. I don't know what you're dealing with. I'm just saying we got to work together, fam. So that's all I got. You know, pray for this ministry and pray for everyone else. And, you know, in my opinion, these are difficult times. These are hard times. If you expect anything less than hard times, you're going to be shocked and overwhelmed. But that's why I always say you must be prepared. You must make provisions. You must have your mind right. You must be ready to be like the 3 Hebrew boys. Our God is able to deliver us, but if he don't, I'm not bowing the knee. That's the times we're in. Right? We're in a time that they might try to draft your sons and your daughters. You got to make the decision on what you're going to do. Understand this. It makes no sense for our people to keep supporting the same people that oppress us and shoot us in the street. See, Christianity makes you think that's okay. Christianity thinks it's okay for you to go out there and put your life on the line for people who discriminate against you, who shoot you in the streets, who pass laws against your family. Christianity tells you it's okay to go and join that and fight for the homeland. I ain't telling you what to do. I'm just saying, think about it. Does it make any sense? Are they allowing us into the economic stratosphere and become millionaires and billionaires without being in entertainment? Are they allowing most of us to go and get an education for free? Don't they keep changing and adding new rules to the tax system to take more money out your pocket so you can't provide for your family? But you're going to go fight for them? I'm not telling you what to do. I'm saying we are in a time of decision. And if we keep doing the same old thing, we're going to get the same results. And these people don't love you. These people don't love us. Y'all think they love y'all? You think you equal? Christianity is white supremacy. Don't get it twisted. I'm going to keep saying it. Christianity is white supremacy. It neuters you. That's all I got, fam. If y'all want to support us, you can become a patron. You could go to www.tailministries.com, go to the donations tab. For other options, you could give Cash App, $TOTW7101. You can also buy my book, which is True Jerusalem, Lost Kingdom of the Israelites. You could buy Mr. Tayu's book, They Always Knew We Were Israelites. And also, if you haven't done so, please like, share, and subscribe. All I have to say, fam, I love y'all. Regardless of whether or not you like my message, I can't tell you how much time is left. It don't look good. That's all I could give you, right? It don't look good. It don't look good. How much time is left, I can't say, right? It just don't look good. But that's all I got. Peace and blessings, Israel. Your captivity is ending. Love you with the love of the Messiah. Well, family, the wait is over. The moment has arrived where truth emerges triumphant from the shadows of history. Introducing the True Jerusalem, the Lost Kingdoms of the Israelites, the groundbreaking work by me, Jacoby Vale, a journey into the past that reshapes the future. I cut through centuries of misconceptions with piercing clarity. This book delivers a compelling case packed with evidence that commands attention and gonna get some respect. Come with me for a second, family, and discover how these thrilling civilizations flourished, protected by towering highlands and sustained by advanced engineering. Some have asked, where is Jerusalem? Is it the land in the Middle East? I say no. It is in the highlands of Ethiopia. With hours of groundbreaking research, this book brings in a new revelation, and it will transform your understanding of African history and its connections to the ancient world. It's going to remove from your mind the conditioning by the Romans of what has really happened to our past. Come with me, family, to the Ethiopian highlands and find out why this is our land, why things have been hidden and obfuscated for centuries. We are royalty, children of the Most High. What kind of land do you expect us to have? Dried up dirt in the Middle East, or land flowing with rivers? A land full of beautiful animals flowing with milk and honey. Don't miss out on this monumental unveiling. Grab your copy today and stand on the side of truth. Visit Amazon.com or www.tailministries.com to purchase your book and join Jacoby Vale's teachings on Tail Ministries. Family, your journey to a hidden history has now begun. So family, get your copy of True Jerusalem, the Lost Kingdoms of the Israelites today. Journey to the heart of Africa, where history and legend converge to reveal the forgotten kingdoms of the Israelites and the true location of Jerusalem.